The next step within the research cycle is to do heuristic evaluation. Now, the challenge within all web design is that we become blind to our own creation. So we either need to hire an agency, external and super talented within CRO, or you need to start using frameworks or best practices to be able to analyze the site with fresh eyes. One of my favorite frameworks is the LIFT model by Chris Goward. You can read about it in his book, You Should Test That. I love combining it with other studies or best practices within UX, but using the different parts of the LIFT model as a structure. Let's dive in and start evaluating the site after each section. First, you need a really good value proposition and put it above the fold. What do you offer that makes the benefits higher than the costs? Now, a problem that I'm seeing is that we sometimes cut the value proposition to save space on mobile, but has it clearly stated on the desktop design. But we shouldn't remove it. We simply have to design it so that it's perfected for the mobile design. I ran this test with a Swedish travel company, TUI. They placed 2 value propositions above the fold. It stated best travel site and buy now, pay later. The mobile conversion rate went up 8% and the mobile revenue 11%. That's huge. So both try to communicate who you are and also decrease purchase anxiety by clearly stating free delivery and returns. Then make sure that you reiterate these value propositions through the funnel. For example, having it close to the call to action on the product page and on the checkout page. Simply remind visitors why you are the best place to buy from. That is a great A/B test to get started with. Now let's dive deeper. Don't only focus on who you are and what you want to say. Also think about who you are communicating with and adapting to their cognitive way of understanding the world. Here, I like to use Brian Eisenberg's 4 behavior types. Behavior types can sometimes be criticized. But this is not about saying that one person always behaves in a certain way. It's about making sure that you adapt your communication to fit different ways of processing information. The model looks like this. You can lean towards being slow-paced or fast-paced in your decision-making. And you can lean towards being logical or emotional. If a person is slow-paced and logical, they are methodical. For these people, it's extremely important to compare and evaluate because they want to make the right decision. They usually read practically everything that's on the page and they like to scroll. So you can design for them in the lower part of the page. Let's have a look at a usability test by a person that's quite methodical. Notice how he's reading just about everything and how he's focusing on comparing.
As I don't really know what to look for, I thought perhaps if I sort this in the highest price first. Hyperpants is fully equipped pants made for MTB. What is MTB? MTB. Mountain bike. Okay. My way of working would be to get the one with the lowest price and see what's the difference. The problem is that I can't really compare in this software. Well, now what I need to do is to start writing this into Excel.
The other behavior type that's also slow-paced is the humanistic people. That means that you can design for them in the lower part of the page as well, because they usually scroll. The difference here is that these people focus on emotions. They trust the opinions of friends and usually reviews by other people. They love images, especially if they convey emotions. And they are super loyal to salespeople who've been nice to them because they remember that. Since they are slow-paced, they might read the small text. And they have quite a high anxiety level when it comes to tech. So design for their emotions. Let's move to the behavior types that are fast-paced, which means that you need to design for them in the upper part of the page, because they don't have the patience to read everything and scroll. The competitive people are fast-paced and logical. They want to understand what you're giving them quickly, so they will scan the page looking for headers and bullet lists to summarize. They get super frustrated by weak clarity, so don't assume that they will read too much on the page. Take a look at this usability test. In respect to time, I've had to cut it, but the person gets really frustrated by not understanding the header. And even though it's a show more link right in front of her, she won't click it because she doesn't like going into long paragraphs of text or small fonts.
Women's soft shell jacket. Soft shell. Why does it say soft shell jackets? Okay, so this one, they didn't have this one in my size. That's a shame. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to this one then. It's gotten some nice reviews. Oh, and it's in my size. Okay, I like this one. Okay, so let's do medium. Is your size missing? Click here to be informed when it's back in stock. When it's an email. No, I don't want to wait for that. Proceed to checkout.
Finally, you have the spontaneous people, who are fast-paced and emotional. That means you have to design for them in the upper part of the page, because they will not scroll that much. I'm extremely spontaneous when I shop. I'm not in my private life, not in my work life, but when I shop, I'm spontaneous. This means that I move through the process very fast. I like the creation of a lifestyle, so I will listen to how you communicate your brand. I do not like long paragraphs of text or small fonts, and I'm really responsive to persuasion techniques. Also, I use shortcuts to understand the world. That is, high price, good quality. High price with 50% off. Super good, I get high quality with a bargain. That's how I can have a really high tempo. Now it's time for the first exercise. Gather your team and have a look at this. Do you clearly communicate what you offer above the fold? And do you decrease the purchase anxiety by repeating it throughout the funnel? Have a look. Then discuss this. Do you communicate to all 4 behavior types? And how can you even better design the communication so that it fits the different needs? Okay, we've now completed the first phase of the heuristic evaluation. Let's go to the next.